Good morning and welcome back to BIFA TV, your daily dose of industry information. At the end of last year, BIFA's STC underwent a major review to ensure they stay up to date and reflective of the current market. To tell us more about why incorporating these is so important, we're joined by Robert Windsor from our policy and compliance team. So Robert, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Pleasure as always, Brooke.
Now, can you tell us, first things first, if any of our members don't know, what the STC are and why they're so important?
Basically, the STC are the contractual basis of the trading relationship for the freight forwarding contracts between the BIFA member and their customer. And they are for the exclusive use of the BIFA member. And they are one of the major benefits of being a BIFA member. So they're very important.
Of course.
Two of the main reasons for the review have been highlighted this year. And basically, the first point that we all wanted to focus on was to keep all parties to the forwarding contract their minds focused on keeping the goods moving, because that's very important.
Of course.
And the second was to remind all parties of their responsibilities when you're actually moving cargo.
And what would you say is the most important thing for our members to remember about the STC?
It's what I always say, it's about incorporation. Make sure they are incorporated correctly in the contract.
Can you give our members some guidance on how they can ensure that they've done that properly and also their contracts?
Yeah, the first and the best place to do it is when you're onboarding a new client would be to make sure that you provide a copy of the STC by email, and so they have the opportunity to see, read, and ask any questions. However, that is not always possible. And I'm looking at, for instance, the fast-moving business such as road freight from Europe, where the freight literally turns up and you've got to clear it on wheels. And so how can you do it then? So the first thing I would always say is a clear signposting within the email signature. So, the email signature makes reference to business being transacted under BIFA STC. Then, of course, you've got signposting within your own website, make it very clear. And if you don't want to put it on your own website, you can always link that particular phraseology to the BIFA website. Reference within the quotation for whatever service you're providing. And once again, that will be provided, I would venture nowadays, by email. So therefore, you've got the double incorporation almost, if you want. You've got the email, which would cover it, and also the the reference within the quotation. The other thing I would suggest is, and I have seen this, some of our members, it's like all the big corporates, when you buy something online, there's a tick box to say, yes, I've seen, read, understood, and accept that, the terms and conditions. But that isn't that common from what I've seen. But certainly it's a way you can move. Now, the important thing is, if anybody asks for a copy of the standard trading conditions, that they are provided.
Sure.
And that can obviously be done electronically. Within the BIFA website, as you know, there is a specific section as like a microsite.
Yep.
And in these two documents, we do provide considerable guidance about the correct wording. I am concerned, and I feel it's important that members focus on tightening up the wording. Everything I'm seeing contractually puts a greater emphasis on making sure that the wording for any incorporation is more watertight than it's ever been before. And just one other thing, we are holding a webinar on this. Members will be contacted, and basically the more that attend, the better, in my opinion.
Of course.
And that is on the 21st of May.
That's great. Thank you so much, Robert.
My pleasure.
As discussed during this episode, we will leave the links to those documents in the description below, as well as the link to register for the webinar. That's all for today's edition of BIFA TV, your daily dose of industry information.